everybody, this is Ray and it's show me time. So that's what I'm going to do. I have a Sea Eagle pontoon boat here. It's the 285. It's hard rubber. I had this video on YouTube a few months ago and it was on the setup and deflation. So today I am going to show you more detail of all my modifications. I hope you enjoy it. Give me a thumbs up if you like it. First of all, this is the motor mount right here, and it just goes on here, slips into here. The problem I do have is when you go in reverse and forward with your trolling motor, it will go like this. It hasn't come out yet. So what I probably might do someday is decide to put a clamps on here of some kind to keep it from doing that. The other thing is all these marks on here that are bad, chipped, paint and stuff, and anything that I can find on anything that I made that was painted by me and made out of wood, I will touch up this winter. Now, right now it's snow outside and I don't take it out, so I stick it upstairs in the attic and leave it there, and then bring it out and might make some mod to go with it, modification here. So what I do is, here is a rod that is approximately 30 and a half inches. It is an 1.5 inch rod. You can buy this. It's a dowel, and what I did with this dowel is I cut one side flat right here. This side right here I'm poking at is flat. I put this on my table saw and I just cut off as much as I needed. I just cut off little by little until I got to where it would fit into here. Now the reason why I did that, made it flat on one side, is so it doesn't turn in here. So this is a pin, and this is, I take off, this is how I get it in, and I slip this in here. This is a eye hook that I mounted. I put it far away from the end of the rod so it wouldn't crack, and I open this eye even to make it so I can get my rope in here for anchor. This is my anchor holder, and here's some anchor hooks, and then here's one and here's one, and I put one on this side, one on that side. This is something I'm probably going to take off because I don't need. And then this here is a stop. What it is a dowel, a wood dowel that you use for joining wood, and I just drilled a hole and put the dowel in there, put some tape on there so it wouldn't move at all, and made it to fit. What do you do is, okay, this goes down like so. I'm going to put it in here. Put it in here, put it through. It doesn't turn. It just turns a little. There's a little play in that. That's it. But this is the wood, the peg that I got through here that keeps it from going that way. This part, which is going to go on here, and it locks that in, so it doesn't flop out. Now what I do sometimes is I'll put a pipe insulation here. I'll cut one like 4 inches 4 inches. Yeah, something like that. 4 1/4, I'd say. 4 1/4 inches, and I put it in there so it doesn't flop around. Just pipe insulation. So pipe insulation is usually round. You slip it on, and there's a slit in it. So you just open the slit, maybe, and maybe you don't have to because it'll be 1.5 inches inside diameter of the foam. That will keep it. That will keep it steady. The other thing you probably do is put a dowel in there, like I did here. So the anchor system that I have is this kind, and I kind of rigged it so if I had to get it loose, this will probably break the tie, and then I can pull it backwards in a river if I need it, or in some deep weeds I can't get it apart, or I don't know, stuck on something, then it would reverse it. You'd be pulling it from the bottom instead of from the top. And that's how it's rigged. I saw that on YouTube somewhere, and I decided to do that. This, you put the line in through the eye, and I probably could show you better. I put it in the eye, and it hangs there. Okay, I'm doing this right. Okay, I put this on. This is running through here. It's just a dolly, a pulley wheel. I don't know what it's called. I can't remember anymore. I put that on the hook, and then that pulls on here and straightens out the anchor. And then I have these 2 anchor wraps, and I will go like that and loop it, and it's stuck. It ain't gonna move. All I did was turn the loop. See, if you just go like that, I just turn the loop with my hand, put it on there. It'll stay. It won't go nowhere. And then throw that in my box, probably, or on the back end here. So that works real good. And like I said, this is stationary, so it won't move around. Your anchor works. I leave it hang from here and just make it go. And when I don't want to, I put it in there. Or sometimes I don't even take the anchor thing along. Sometimes I don't anchor. Sometimes I do. But it works real fine. I don't like going out and anything over 11-mile-an-hour winds. Not because this is not good in that kind of wind. It's just because I don't like wind for fishing. So I like it 10 mile an hour I can handle. Sometimes it's just like you can't position where you're going to fish because your line is going one way and the other and stuff like that. So here is another thing that I made. This fits right under my seat of the Sea Eagle. Now the seat covers this up, I think, like halfway. Comes in here. I don't have the seat on here today, and can't show you that. I don't want to show you that because then I got to set it all up and it's apart. I take the thing apart because I want to make sure everything is put together right. Now this is the box. It measures 13 inches by 13 inches, and This is 3/4 inch board all the way here. It is 8.5 high. Now 8.5 high is what I needed to get it underneath the seat and not interfere with the seat when it swivels. So that's 8.5. Then I made the box roughly 13 inches, and that fits. So the outside diameter is 13 inches, and 8.5. And that just sits in my boat right under my seat. I usually put this in first, and then my seat I assemble and put that in. This is a rod holder. What it is just a pipe, PVC pipe, and I've made some big holes for the screw heads to go through, and then inside is a screw, and it's attached to the box. This I might take off just because it does get in the way of the seat. Sometimes it's a bother, but this season I'm probably going to leave it on. Let's try it again, see if it works for me. If not, this is a box I made for the battery. I made 2 places for the wiring to come through, and this is 7.5. This is somewhere around 6, and then so you get the picture of this. This is 6 and 3/4, 6 and 7/8, 5 and 7/8. I'm sorry. So 5 and 7/8. And this is 1/4 inch lumber. This is just plywood on this side, this side, this side, and this side, the 4 sides. And the bottom is plywood. Same thing. And I just glued it and put some brad nails through here, and it fits my battery in there. And then I put the battery in here. Now, you really don't need this. It's just me that I figure I need it to keep my battery in there. Otherwise, you could probably just lay it in here and put everything around it. But that's what I did. And this is actually shorter, as you can see. You know, it's shorter than the box. And this is plywood on the bottom of here. I think I got 4 in here. Yeah, 4 of them. And what I did is I cut up a 2x4 into 4 1/4 inch pieces, and I just put them on the bottom. So the 2x4 would be, you know, on here. Just 2x4 is a 1/4 inch thick because I cut the 2x4 down. That made it strong. I wasn't going to use lat boards. Even these are cut. They're not lat boards. They're just 1/4 inch. And I made these to whatever I felt. These 3 are 1.5. This one's a little bigger. And it's just to let it breathe, I guess, and light. I wanted to make it as light as I can. So you could probably put lat boards all the way around, but it wouldn't be as strong, I don't think. So I used 3/4 inch plywood, 3/4 inch pine boards, and like I said, the board is probably 8.5 It's 8 and an eighth, and with the 1/4 inch bottom on it, it's 8 3/8 height. 8 3/8 inch high. So, and that's with the bottom piece. Anyways, I'll paint this up wherever it needs touching up, and I'll use that. This is another thing that they gave you, the Sea Eagle. It came with it. It's a Scotty mount. I myself don't like Scotty mounts because they get in the way when I turn my seat. First of all, you got to put in these, and I think they lay like this, and then you have to strap this in, and it's loose, it doesn't stay put. If you get a bite, it's still playing there, so you might lose a fish. And then this is, I just don't like this setup. Okay, so, and it sticks out this much. So if you have it sitting in your boat and it's facing the inside, you're going to hit this all the time. And I've had it this way and that way. And if you have it this way, well, you're going to have to go like this and pull the starting thing off and get this out of here, and it's just too much. I don't like it. The other thing is this. I made this. I like it. Actually, I just made it this year because I've been putting up with these, and I really didn't know how I could do something with that without making it more complicated for me. So what I did is there's a piece of wood in here. It's 12 inches. It's a dowel. It's 1 3/8 inch dowel. Got it from Menards for $5 and something. And one side I made flat. Two sides I made flat. So this is, right now, this is 1 1/4 instead of 1 3/8. These two sides are flat, and I made them flat in here because I also put a screw in here. I pre-drilled this screw, and I stuck this in here. It's got to be at least 3/4 inch screw, or 1 inch, possibly 3/4. And then these are just screws I had around, and this fits nice on the bottom, and I put another screw right there. And I pre-drilled this hole into the plastic so the screw would go in there without forcing it. And then the one in the wood, I pre-drilled that with a smaller drill. Not too far, just enough to get the thing started, and I can screw that in. This works good, and I don't have to take it out. I don't want to take it out. This fits into my thing like that, and my boat holder that came with it. And this is how it fits. This goes in here like so, and I think it fits good. I think it works good. Now on this, this is a longer one. Okay, a lot longer. This is for bass. This is for crappies. And then what I did is I could make this longer. Could make it longer. This part. This is something I bought at Menards. It is a kitchen sink garbage disposal attachment. This is 4 inches, so it works really good. If you put the for crappies or bass, it'll work real good. And then I could even put it on this side. I made enough room that this would fit on this side, so I could have 2, and they would be far enough apart where you can have 2 rods. And I would turn it like this so it's not in my way with my knees or anything like that. Or I could have it sitting outside the boat like that. But that's it. Now this swivels up and down, so you could have it on an angle if you wanted, and have another one up here, and you could have 2 rods. I might do that, but I'd like to try this out first, just to see how I like it. I think I will. So this tightens up. This just flops into the holder that is on the boat, and it locks in place wherever you want it. So that's that. I talked about that. Oh, the anchor rope. I usually keep this on a PVC pipe. I think this is 12 inches also. And I drilled a hole through here. And what I do is when I'm done, you could go like this, put a loop through there, pull it tight, and then I do is I pull it tight, okay, shove this through there and pull that, and it won't go anywhere. Now you got to take this apart the same way. You make this loop big enough, and then you go like that, and it'll come out. It's my way of locking this in place. You just got to leave enough room so you can get it in there. Like I said, put a loop through there of that line, you pull it tight so it's long enough so you can get it through here, and then you just pull it and it won't come loose. Sometimes it gets messed up, and well, then you just gotta unravel it. And sometimes I get confused. Never had to cut one, but sometimes it'll get messed up. But if you make this big enough, you can get it out. Okay, now there is also a hole in there, maybe in the middle of there. I made another hole. I put the line through it and tied a knot, and that's how it locks down inside there. So you can do this any way you want. You can just shove it in your box like this, but I like this system. You take the pin out, you go like that, you keep the pin, and you pull this out, and you're all set. You unhook it from the eye hook, and then you put those away, and you get this off here. You get that off. You throw that in there, and I usually keep this with my oars when I pack it. And I'll put the pin back just so I don't lose it. Pin I got at Ace Hardware. You get any size you want. There. So that's how it goes. Now I will take you to the front of the boat. Alright, I am back, and I'm in the front of my boat. So this is my registration numbers and my sticker. What I did is I put plexiglass over the sticker. It ain't even stuck to it. I put 3 screws in there. I also pre-drilled the plexiglass to it. These are the numbers, letters, and they're 3 inches wide or long, or the size 3 inches. So what I did is, this is 1/4 inch plywood. It is 21 inches long, and this is 4 1/4. This here is enough to hold this is 3 1/2, so I gave it 1/2 inch. There's a 1/4 inch and 1/4 inch or something like that play in here when I put the stickers on. I also painted it yellow and green after the Packers. Just because the boat's green, and the yellow shows up real good. This is 1/4 inch lumber here, plywood, and this is like 3/4 of an inch. Yeah, 3/4 of an inch, and 1/4 inch thick. And I glued this on to there to make it stronger, and painted it up. Put some eye hooks on here, turned them in the middle, measured equal distance so it lays up and down right, and tie a knot in here, and then I burned off the edge so it doesn't fray. Then I made a loop in there, and I put this on there. This I got at the hardware store, and this is another one I got at the hardware store, and it just goes on to here. Doesn't cause any problems with the strap. Nice and smooth. And I just hooked this on there, and it's ready to go. And then just same way, taking it off. It's no big deal. I like this idea. Keeps it from getting wet, and nobody can steal it. I don't know. It ain't stuck to it. I can replace it in 2021. And that's my registration numbers and sticker. The rod holder I showed you, and if I were to, you could put another one on the back, I said. Now if I wanted this longer, instead of 4 inches, I could make it longer by cutting this off 1 inch. Just leave 1 inch of material, cut it off maybe right around here, stick a piece of 2 inch dowel 1 inch inside, and then 1 inch to go on the outside of the other side. So it would look like this, and then you could put another pipe over there, but it would only be 1 inch, 2 inches. And actually it's only an inch of material that you're wasting, but then I could make it longer. You could use maybe 2 inches longer, and that would hold your rod better in, especially bass rods or something like that. But this might be good enough, so I don't know. And I do have a screw in here to fasten this down. I pre-drilled it. So that's one thing I wanted to say. This is the thing I use for filling up. And this came with the Intex, and it is cigarette lighter adapter, and then I could get a battery operated one, and I could probably stick this in my boat and leave it there. It wouldn't take up much room. I could put that in the box. This just goes on there. This came from Seagull, this part. They give you two. And this is a flexible hose. I got it from the Ace Hardware, I think. And I pushed them in there, the part, and I heated this up first on the stove so I could get it on there real good. And this side too, I heated it up, and then I put this clamp over it because I don't want this coming apart. And this actually stays put, so I don't have to do nothing. I probably maybe didn't have to do anything with this, but I don't like things coming apart, especially when you're fishing and all of a sudden it comes off. So that is that, and this is 12 inches. So I think this can be pushed down tighter or something. I'm not sure, but this is what the one pump they gave you. Now, what I usually do is the Intex to blow it up. You got to blow this side up some, and then that side some, and then put the floorboard in. Once you get the floorboard in, you fill it up some more. I fill it up all the way because this is only rated 1.1. And I fill up both of them, and then when I am done with that, I put this on. And I put tape on here because I don't want it to flop off. I put it on right away, and it's just a bellow type pump. It's too big, but I use it to tip it off and make this thing hard because it needs to be harder. This I just blew up with the Intex. The other thing is, this is my fish locator, and I made this. It fits on the wood here. There's a piece of wood here, and I think it's for putting your feet against so you can roll. And this fits on there like this, so I can look at it, and it won't tip. It stays put because this don't move, so this ain't gonna move, but it comes off really easy. What I do is, this is about 5.5 inches. These pieces of wood here are 2 and 3/4, and then 3/4 inch wood, and just pine. And I screwed it in there, mounted it. This one on top is a little wider than that. So these are like 4 inches. This one here is like 4 inches. This is 2 and 3/4. And it fits right on top of there. It slides back and forth. I can just take it off really easy. Yeah, that's it. This is the transducer bracket. And this transducer is actually for ice fishing. This is what I use for ice fishing, and this is just swivels on here, up or down or whatever. And I just got a screw, put a nut on there, and got it the same size as this at the hardware store. These are 2 mounting screws on this side, and this is a piece of plastic PVC pipe. So I just made that. That's 4 3/4, and the puck fits in there, and it's snug. I made it snug so it wouldn't rock or anything like that. And this sits on that brace down here. I even put a pad on there. I put some pads on there that I had for truck cap. You know, for a camper, you know, you put some foam pads underneath the camper when you want to fasten it to your truck bed. And this goes on there, and when I don't want it, this thing just swivels up. So it's in the water like this. It fits real good. It sits on there, and it just lays up there like this. So, let's see if I can. This lays in there like that. Open that up. This goes in there in the water. I made it so it's straight up and down, so it doesn't look like it now. But once it lays on here, and then when I come in, I just flip it up. So that's it. So I think that's everything. The floor goes in there when you got these filled up a little bit. The floor goes in there, and then your seat and your pedestal seat, it raises it. I think it's 7 inches pedestal, and then the seat, so it brings it up maybe, I don't know, it brings it up more than 7 inches, because with the seat and stuff you're up higher. I take care of this thing during the winter months. I'll paint up everything, and then I make sure everything's safe. I put Armor All on this in the fall when I put it away, and then in the spring I will do another coat of Armor All on here. I don't want it to dry out or anything, and this works pretty good. So if you like this video, give me some thumbs up.